It's that time of year again. The time of year where we have to raise awareness for something known as bullying. I have made plenty of videos on this topic plenty times before, and trust me, they have been extremely cringy, so I decided to make another version. Personally myself, I have never gotten bullied. Bullying is something that affects loads of people, no matter how old you are. There have been cases of Karens, but they don't necessarily count, as they're hilarious more than anything.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's court session where we will see Karen attempting to sue the son for causing her to be too hot.
I wouldn't exactly say Karens are bullies because they're just hilarious.
Let me speak to your manager.
Of course, when you're in that situation, it's easier said than done. They're not actually hilarious, they're just terrible. It is important to understand that there are multiple different types of bullying. Not all bullying is the same, like most of us seem to think. There are multiple different types of bullying, such as the most common type, spreading lies and rumours around to purposefully upset that person. Number 2, online bullying. Number 3, something that could be classed as harassment. Number 4, physical bullying. Number 5, confrontation. Yeah, really, confrontation. You have got to be joking, right?
I'm a confrontation person, and I must deserve confrontation, because I'm the most important person in the world. Not.
Once again, reference the Karen clip.
Well, I was sitting in my garden minding my own business when all of a sudden it got really hot, and even though I was just sitting there, I felt like I was melting. And that was when I heard the son, laughing evilly, saying that he was going to melt everything and everyone in the world.
It can start from name calling or nicknames. Personally myself, I don't mind nicknames. The Abdulia video I uploaded, that name is actually based off of someone in real life. I personally don't mind nicknames, but I'm talking about nicknames that are just terrible. Why would you ever call anyone that kind of name? Because if you think about it, it's just a terrible situation to be in. There is confrontational bullying. They can range from simple name calling to physical. And not all bullying is the same. There's the dreaded name calling, and then there is fat shaming, online bullying, physical. That one can range from pushing people down the stairs for no reason whatsoever to full-fledged fights. And bullies are generally very good manipulators. They can easily get out of trouble and make you in trouble if you're not careful. But of course, like I said at the beginning of this, I myself haven't had the fortune of experiencing this really, you're just about to call it amazing, this really terrible thing. What can we do to stop this thing known as bullying? Speak out about it. That's easier said than done. When you're being manipulated, the last thing you want is for a teacher to die and you getting attacked. That was a bit deep. Anyway, speak out about it. Tell a friend or someone you trust. And if the bully takes it a step too far and points a gun at you and threatens to shoot you, then call the police. But let's just hope it doesn't go that far. Anyway, yeah, my dark jokes aside, FBI, open up! Tell a friend or someone you trust, mainly an adult, like I said, if that bully is pointing a gun at your head and is threatening to shoot you, then just call the police. FBI, open up! I'm sure anyone would call the police at that point, and the person would never be able to exist. And if you see someone being bullied, tell someone, because That person may not be able to speak out because maybe they're not very confident. It's easy to say,
well, if they're being bullied, we should just tell a grown-up or someone.
yeah, right.
If the person just being bullied, let's just tell a grown up and it will all be sorted in about 3 seconds.
That's not real life, people. It's not gonna be sorted in 3 seconds. Because bullying lasts a very, very long time. And if you're a direct target for bullies, which I'm sure I might be, luckily I haven't had that instagatic thing of being bullied myself, but it can be easy to say,
They should just defend themselves. They should just do this to defend themselves, to stand up to them.
it's easier said than done just to say stop. The bully being the bully, they're not exactly going to listen to that now, are they? It's easy to rub it under the rug and just say,
They should just defend themselves, stand up to the bully, say them he's boss.
that's not how it works. That is easier said than done. Repeat, that is easier said than done. Well, I generally recommend, oh yes, and if the friend who's being bullied ends up being a bit rude to you just because they're a bit upset, I don't recommend retaliating, because you're just making that person feel like they have no one to go to. So I generally recommend having patience with it, and also have, even though at the grand scheme of things, it might seem like just being rude to you for no reason, because they've been going through it for a very long time, suffering in silence, and you're practically one of the only people they can trust. If you get angry at them, they're going to feel like they have no one left to trust. So I generally recommend being patient. That wraps up our video on bullying then. So before we show the end screen, just to recap, there are multiple different types of bullying. Standing up to that person is easier said than done. If you're being bullied or you see someone being bullied, tell someone. And of course, if the bully threatens you by pointing a gun at your head, call the police. Time to go before I get a bit dark, because yes, I can be a dark person. So I think it's time to go now. Yeah. And make sure you have a lightsaber at hand, just in case. Just for extra protection. Now, obviously, we're not going to allow you to bring a lightsaber into school. An actual lightsaber. So, don't take any of that advice. But take the other advice. And the calling the police advice. FBI, open up! If you're being bullied on your line, just tell a grown-up or a teacher. Unless that teacher doesn't think that people can't be nasty or is a Karen, then that's a different story. But anyway, just tell a teacher if you're being bullied. Just tell a teacher or someone you trust. And if you see someone being bullied, just seriously tell someone. Don't suffer in silence. The more we speak out, the easier it will get. Like I said before, that's easier said than done. Anyway, I've got to go to bed now. See you tomorrow for a song, and we shall roll the end screen.